Hey everyone, welcome back to our SQL playlist. Today we're going to focus on inner joins. If you need an introduction on that, please go watch my previous video. I went through a presentation on an overview of the different SQL joins. So go ahead and watch that for the background, but for this video, we're going to go straight into a couple demos of how to do an inner join. So the first things first, you want to get familiar with your tables. So for today's demo, I'm focusing on two tables. So we'll select star from teams. This is our data. Get familiar with the columns. And then here's our second table. Select star from states. Here's our data here. Okay, so quickly look at both tables and identify your primary and your foreign keys. So I'm looking here and I see state ID in the teams table. So on this states table, I've got state ID here. So that's your bridge. That's your primary and foreign key that you're going to use to connect the tables. Okay, so you've identified your primary and foreign keys. Let's now join the tables together. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do select star from teams, and then I'm going to add the function inner join the other table, which is states, and on, right? How are we going to join the tables? So we're going to join it on, and I'm going to add an alias to each one to make this a little faster. So I'm naming teams T and states S. So I'm going to say teams dot state ID equals S dot state ID. So that's the bridge between these two tables, your primary and foreign key. And let's see what happens when we run this. All right, that is as simple as that. That's all you need to do to complete an inner join. All right, great job. So now though, we want to understand the results. So look at this, we've only got two results here. And if you remember when we ran the first query, an open query against the Thames table, we've got four records here, okay? And now let's take a closer look. So we've got state ID 101, 102. There's one record that doesn't have a state ID, and then 103. Now, when we join it, we're only getting results for 101 and 102. Why is that? Well, if you go run a query against the states table, there is no entry for 103. Again, this is an inner join, so it has to match in both tables. If you don't find that record in both tables, it's not going to pull in a result. And then for your last result, going back here, the null entry. Again, the null entry is not going to find anything in the states table because there was no null there. So, as a result, that's why in an inner join, you're only finding the matched rows between the tables. All right, just a couple more things I want to show you is there is an alternative way to complete an inner join, and that's using the where clause. So I just want to show you this since this is important. So instead of, this is what you're going to do. This is how you're going to fix it. So instead of an inner join, you're going to do a where. Now, the from statement also, you are now going to add both tables. So you're adding all the tables you're using. So we're moving that up there, and we're going to delete that. So the from include both tables. There's no longer an on. And in the where clause, you can now put your bridge, the primary and foreign key, the bridge between the tables. Let's go ahead and run that. You get the same exact result. So again, this is, if you're working a little faster in SQL, you may want to just do it in using the where clause. Just be very careful, be very mindful of it, but that's an alternative way to complete an inner join. And then lastly, you can, with the same ability as other queries, you have the ability to pick columns from either table. Just make sure you're using the alias. It's very important. So you could do the t dot state ID, right? Let's run that. Now, what if I run it without the alias? State ID. It's ambiguously defined because that column exists in both tables. So you can add t.stateID and you're good. And then you can add t.teamID. Again, so you could just add whatever you need. If you've got a big table, a lot of columns, filter that down in your select if you only want to focus on a few columns. And that's the gist of inner joins. On our next videos, we're going to go through left joins, right joins, and full joins as well. So a lot more to come. Thanks for watching today's video. Please subscribe. But that's it for today. See you on the next one. Thanks all.